Hi, welcome back to Opus Abstract. This is Tamara, and we're out in the garden today. We got a major snowfall, as you may have seen on the channel. It was cold for a week, and the snow stayed on the ground, so it was quite miserable. Some of these plants are not used to that, and so I came out here to assess damage. We also ended up getting a whole lot of rain right after that and flooding. Today is Saturday and it rained again, and so the yard is quite saturated with a lot of puddling, and I'll show you that in a moment. But this is a garden that's up under the window, up by the house in the backyard. And this is a Sasanqua Camellia. It blooms pink. You can tell Sasanqua has smaller leaves than the Japonicas, which I have one down at the other side there I'll show later. But that one blooms pink. It's already bloomed. The Japonica will bloom probably, if it didn't get frozen, it will bloom in the next month most likely, maybe sooner. I have Carex, two different kinds, and let's see if I can pronounce it right. Virdis. It's a weeping laceleaf type Japanese maple. And these are Banana Appeal Elysium. The thing about these is they look like they did get some frost damage on them, but I think they're going to be okay. Looks like just kind of the top. They could defoliate. They're evergreen, but they could defoliate because of that. But keep an eye and see. I don't think that they're dead. For sure they're not dead, but they did get some damage. This is a frost Pieris, good name for it, because it came like through here like a trooper with the frost. So it will be fine. Hopefully it'll bloom like it's supposed to. Gets little bell flowers on it. That's kind of a work in progress over here. We just put more dirt in there. There's some hidden plants that'll be coming up, hostas that are underground right now that'll pop out later. Ferns there. Had Georgia grass, some Georgia grass put down. Drains put in, which at this point didn't really do a whole lot of good, but because we got more rain than we were expecting to get. This is a Anne-Irene Japanese maple. Beautiful, and I hope that it came through the frost okay, and the rain, because they don't like wet feet. But hopefully it will leaf out in the spring very soon. It's a beautiful plant, a beautiful tree. This is a Celebration Japanese maple, and we look forward to seeing it leaf out. Both of those plants get kind of a pink, yellows, reds. This one actually gets a little more red, but looking forward to seeing what that's going to look like. This is the back. You can probably hear my feet sloshing. Footsteps, so wet. But this is the problem that we're running into. This is the back. We just had this done, this whole thing, and it's a live edge, kind of a trench, shovel edge they call. Of course, it's just filling with water, and then the water runs from that whole end back there all the way down, and then it sort of just pulls right here. It does dry out, but we're looking at probably putting river rock down to at least slow it down or try to keep it a little bit dry. Some of the other damage that we got from the frost, these Mahoney, soft caress Mahonies, it looks like the top of them got sunburned, and they were looking so good. Bottom part is still real green out. I did get a nice little insulation of snow, so that did help it, because it's not dead. It's just burnt on the top. So, I maybe could trim that. I'm going to let it go for a little while. And if I have to, I can trim off maybe the dead part of it. Again, these are evergreen, and it could lose its leaves eventually because of that for a time. This is the Japonica Camellia. It's going to be a red. See, it's got the bigger leaf, but it did get a little bit of a little bit of frost damage on it. It's unfortunate when those things happen. You just don't know. And we did all this landscaping like in November, and we were pretty sure we'd be okay, but who knew there'd be this crazy unusual frost that did a little bit of damage. I guess I'm lucky that it didn't do more damage than than it could have, the expense of replacing plants and stuff. Here's another one of those soft caress Mahonia. And you see this real green on the bottom there, all around the bottom. But that part there got frosted. And these prints, Cryptomeria, dragon prints. This one looks like it got a little bit of damage. I could possibly cut that, you know, trim that out. Again, I'm not going to touch anything for a little while. I'm going to let it kind of recover and stuff. And all of this needs to dry out because it's just been incredibly wet. This is a Geisha gone wild variety of Japanese maple. And it's real pretty. It's got sort of a variegated, and it's got pink and light pink. It's really nice. I love it. I did get to see it with leaf for a little while. I bought a lot of those three in the fall, so they were starting to lose their leaves, you know, shortly after I got them. They're from Maple, MrMaple.com, and they have a Facebook group too, which is great. I'm in that, and lots of nice people, and the Mr. Maple people are great. So they'll ship these to you, and they'll be fresh, and you can plant them and you can either put them in containers or plant them right in the ground. They were in containers for a short time. There's another one there that's the Anne-Irene right there. Looks like a stick. And then in the background I've got a Bloodgood seedling there. I've actually got about 7 Japanese maples. There's one out front, but we won't do that video today. It's just so muddy. I cannot walk into the garden to go over every single plant. My feet will sink in the mud for sure. We are going to put more mulch down. We didn't get a chance to, but I did mulch around each plant, which did help them. And again, when the snowfall fell, it insulated everything, which was good. This is a Jubilation Gardenia. It's got great, you know, you can see the green on the bottom. Let me see if I can walk in here a little bit, because I do have some mulch here. You can see where there is some green in there, so it's not dead, but it did get frostbite, and I wasn't sure until I could come out here and really look. But it did get frostbite. All these things need to dry out. They're just way too wet, and we certainly don't want to introduce any kind of root rot on top of having been frozen too. So insult to injury in some ways. Gulf Stream Nandinas, Gulf Breeze Nandinas, sorry. They seem to have come through okay. This one may have gotten a little bit of frost damage. I think it will recover. That one there may have gotten a little bit, but they also turn color so in the winter, so it's hard to say for sure if this color. I'm sure that some of it is, yeah, like this. Yeah, that's probably some frost damage. Oh boy. But I do still see color in there, so I'm holding out hope that that they will recover. Biggest thing right now is troubleshooting the trench, which has made its own riverbed, really. So river rock, that's what I said in the beginning, is probably what we'll end up doing. Hopefully it'll halt it some, keep them, you know, the dirt from the garden from washing down, for one thing, and then the other, making such a mess on the patio here, and then continuing on to the fence. So that's something that you know, will create a mess, so we want to definitely get a hold of that. These are Blue Point junipers. I love those, the blue. I've got a Fat Albert blue spruce out front when I do a front garden tour, the front of the house. But these are cool, and some variegated boxwood. But these, I just think they'll be really pretty. Of course, they're troopers when it comes to frost because they are very cold hardy. I think down to like a 4 or something. So yeah, probably a 4. And I think if anything, heat would be their enemy, just like the Fat Albert for the Fat Albert. But they're good. They're good. So I like putting hardy things in here that will help. There's a blue star juniper. I did say blue point, I hope, on the other. That's a blue point. This is a blue star juniper. I've got some money grass, Muhly grass, which is pink, has pink. It'll look really pretty when that all comes together. And those are those Encore Azelea twists. Now, again, it's so muddy I can't walk over there, but I did walk out there at one point, and I could see that they looked okay. They didn't look like they were damaged, frosted. That's a is it Cryptomeria? Do I always say it wrong? It's another thing. It's a limelight. Not Cryptomeria. I can't think of the name. Darn it! I hate when I do that. I will. I know what it is. I can see it. But Cryptomeria? No, that's what the other one was. Oh, this is frustrating. Anyway, and then those are bronze Distylium. So getting bronze like that should be normal. I'm hoping that that's not damage. But at first I thought it was, and I looked up the card and it says develops bronze leaves. So I think that's probably normal. In the wintertime, it would develop that. So Camellia. Oh my goodness. Camellia, nightlight. Okay, got it. Good. These are Encore azaleas. These are angel, autumn angel, and they're a very bright white flower. They may even have a hint of pink in them. Those are down to like a zone 6, so they came through just fine. I don't see any problems with them really, other than them being so saturated and wet right now. The other type of gardenia, which it's not a frost, I can't remember the name, but it's got these round leaves that are so pretty, and I don't really see, there might be just a little bit of frost damage on those, but they look pretty good as far as I can see. And again, there's another, oh baby, a little bit of the Distylium there, and this one's closer to the edge so I can see it better, but it's pretty bronzy on the end, so I'll have to see if that isn't frost damage. I don't think that it is, because like I said, this is a bronze. It's called bronze. So it does develop that bronzy leaf on new growth as it's forming. So I think that one's going to be okay. I hope. One can only hope, because this landscaping thing, it gets expensive. Little Gem Magnolia came through at one point that I had to put another bamboo stick. I just happened to have some in my shed that a friend who was growing bamboo gave me a bunch of them. I'm glad that I had them, because the stick that it was with originally when we planted it broke because it was windy, and then it got cold, so it snapped and it broke, and the tree was threatening to fall backwards. So I quickly came out and in the wind and the rain and the snow and everything, and put that in there and mounted it again. As soon as everything can dry out and I can mulch this and walk back in there, I'll be able to do a better job at assessing everything that's back there. I did get these little stepping stone things to put in there, because I figured at least it would give me kind of a little bit of a path. I didn't finish doing that, but a little bit of a path. One idea that I have for this empty spot here is the Bobo hydrangea, which are small. They get to be about maybe 3 feet, maybe that tall, maybe that wide. They're white, and then they can go to pink in the fall. But they're bloom from spring until late fall. They come back every year. They bloom on new wood, or they grow on new wood. So they'll die back to the ground. So, but I'm thinking 3, kind of in a triangle pattern there, would look pretty, especially when the magnolia is blooming its white flowers, and then you have these Encore azaleas here that are going to be blooming white. I think that'll be pretty. Of course, I'm going to add in some things that will have color. Haven't decided completely what yet. It's a work in progress. My little peacock there has fallen over several times. I'm going to have to dig in and kind of strap it down, keep it from falling. The wind likes to knock it over. with these twists, you know, they're Encore twists back there. Those are they're going to be it's a white flower with a pink, so it's variegated. So there will be some color there with that. And those are so pretty, and those can get almost 4 feet tall. So that's why they're in the back there, thinking that they'll do good there. When this Muhly grass grows, you know, that's like a 3x3 or so, and there's 3 of those. I tend to do things in 3s. I'm not sure why, but I sort of like that. So there'll be pink there. And then over here, I'm actually going to put some ground sedum in. Right in here. I'm going to put some ground sedum because there's kind of a natural little edge there on the you know, that's covering the edge. Kind of plant it in there, tuck it in there, and let it you know, cover the ground with the sedum. It's hardy sedum. So it should do good as long as I can keep this good drainage here. They'll do good. Any of these. Well, actually, not many plants like to really have wet feet, maybe except for some kinds of ferns, and maybe other things. But for the most part, you really want to have good drainage anyway. So that's, you know, sort of the plan at this point. You know, still working on it. We got this little seeding area going on. I am anxious for spring to get here so I can see my Japanese maples putting on leaf. It's always exciting. It's also exciting to get out of cold weather. But we will be mulching, again, I said, more back here. That's the plan. Get that rest of that all mulched in. And then the river rock or whatever kind of rock in the trench to kind of hopefully help with that little river that's going through there and the mess that it's been creating, you know, and how it goes down here. So anyway, as I babble on and talk, just letting you see what I got here. That's a fire table. There's a blue crushed glass, you know, the crushed glass in there, and it comes up with the gas flame there. There's a propane tank inside that box there. So that'll be nice. And I will get some video of everything set up. And as things start to come back to life and grow and put on growth, and as I plant more things, I'll certainly do another video of that so you can sort of see, you know, how this is going to change throughout time. We have the raised bed vegetable gardens over there. We used the water troughs. They seem to work. They're drilled on the bottom, so there's holes in the bottom, and so we did move them down to put this garden in, so I have space for another one. But I put vegetables in there, and I'll be starting stuff like carrots and lettuce and things that are great for cooler time period and grow well. So I'll be getting those seeds in very soon on that. We also did this little patio area. Boy, I'm just so embarrassed that it's so wet and everything from the rain, but this too shall pass. But this here was an area that just got mossy and muddy and stuff, and so we rocked it in, put the little bench in there. It's just been a cute area, and I sit in that area where the window is. Inside there is a little sitting nook area. I like looking out on my garden. So we just moved here 2.5 years ago, so going, you know, a little over that now. And so all of this is a work in progress. You know, when you move into new construction and it's just a blank slate, it takes a while to get it going. They put in that zorgia there. They had cut out because no grass was growing over there. This Bermuda grass, nothing was growing, and so they came in with the zorgia Bermuda that's supposed to be can grow more in the shade, and there's more shade over that way. So we'll see how that goes. It's certainly gotten enough water, so it should hopefully do very well, growing and everything. Oh, I don't know if these were gardenias too. These are gardenias, but they do look like they kind of hit it. We'll see though. First of all, they're getting waterlogged in the pot right now, and second, the frost and stuff. But when I put these in the pots, I didn't really expect, you know, necessarily that they would make it through the winter in the pots. This is honeysuckle, and this is a pink honeysuckle, and it's looking rough. It actually is an evergreen, but it's had some issues. It got powder mildew, and I sprayed it with neem oil and all. But my goal is, as you can probably tell, is that to grow over this arbor arch So that's a work in progress too, because I just put that in again like in late October, I think, and it was blooming and the hummingbirds were still here and loving it. So I can see what it will be, and it smells gorgeous. Oh my gosh, the honeysuckle smell is just really, really good, and the flower is so pretty. So once that starts blooming, and it will bloom spring into fall, so you know, it'll bloom, it'll keep its foliage, it should keep its foliage. The thing would be keeping it moist enough in a pot, but of course, with all the rain we've gotten, hopefully it's not overkill right now for it, you know, where it's going to get root rot. So these are the things that I just can't control. So we do the best we can, right? And so that's all we can do. So this concludes the tour of the backyard, such as it is on a kind of a rainy day. It's the rain has let up some. The sky is brightening up in spots. I mean, it was raining like a monsoon this morning. But as this dries out, it will become nicer to look at, and the grass will green up. Bermuda grass goes this yellowy brown in the summertime here in northwest Alabama. So I hope you've enjoyed this video for what it's worth as I stumble along and do these things and learn how to create videos and try to put content in it that's interesting enough for people to want to look at. And get better at this. But you know, you got to start somewhere. Have a blessed day. Come back and see me. Bye-bye.